But the park is still flooded, so you'll see kids out there again today.
Some of those kids today will be my co-hosts.
It's just like, dude, you get the best barrels ever, dude. Just like you pull in and you just get spit right out of them. And you just drop in and just smack the lip. Whoop-ah, drop down, snap, and then after that, you just drop in, just ride the barrel and get pitted, so pitted like that.
Well, actually, you know what?
Welcome back. Week 11. We missed Week 10, but we're back for Week 11. It's Season 3. Things are getting crazy out there. We still have players falling like flies. Key injuries this week. Across the NFL, Michael Penix, depending on how you say it. It's more fun to say Penix. Drake London, Josh Jacobs, Dylan Gabriel, Aaron Rodgers, Calvin Ridley. Good riddance, Calvin Ridley. And last but not least, Ja'Marr Chase getting suspended for one game. God damn it. That's the way she goes. All right, let's get into the scoring recaps. All right. In Week 11, the average team score was 105.60, which is down about 4.5% from Week 10. We had 6 teams score over their projected total, so less than half the league, which is down from 8 in Week 10. That's actually the third time that's happened this season, so it's the third lowest total of points scored on the season overall as well for Week 11. So overall scoring was down. 7 teams scored over 100 points. That was down from 10 teams in Week 10. And we had one underdog win, the one and only, which was down from 1 from last week. For reference, so far in 2025, the average team score for the league is 109.17. So you can check what your team's average is, I think in Yahoo somewhere maybe. And it's the 4th time this season only 6 teams beat projection. So it's been one of those seasons. All right, let's get into the good stuff. We have the Week 11 matchup recaps. Up first, we have Al's Dumpster Divers. 4th place team going into the week, taking on Sleuthy Sloths, his brother, Brendan. 2-9 in 12th place. Final score, Al's Dumpster Divers, 91.59 to Sleuthy Sloths, 88.77. Top performers for Al's team, Jahmyr Gibbs, Patrick Mahomes, and Trey Tucker. Underperformers for Brendan's team, we had Tez Johnson, David Njoku, and Devontae Adams. All time, Sleuthy Sloths leads the series 2-1, but it is the first time in 3 seasons that Al beats his brother Brendan. So shout out to Al on the win. Al stays in the top 4 with that performance, which is awesome. And Sleuthy Sloths remains down in the bottom tier after this matchup. All right, up next we have Nakua Matata taking on Dog Pound. A 10th place team taking on the 6th place team coming into the week, which was Dog Pound. Final score, Nakua Matata, 102.13, Dog Pound, 89.40. Again, Patrick showing how to work the waiver wire, finding those waiver wire heroes, Jacoby Brissett, Troy Franklin, and Nico Collins, leading the way for Nakua Matata in a strong win when they needed it most. Dog Pound underperformers, Mark Andrews, Amari DiMarcado, Jake Bates, and the Carolina defense. With this win, Patrick moves to 5-6, stays in the 10th place spot, but stays there in case somebody stumbles in the end here, coming into the last few weeks of the season. Dog Pound still in the playoff hunt, sitting in the 8th place, right on top of the playoff bubble, the gatekeeper to the playoffs at this point. Both teams will look to get back to action in Week 12 to march on in the quest for the playoffs. Up next, Dominic the Donkey taking on the Pack. Coming into the week, Dominic the Donkey was in 8th place. The Pack sitting in 2nd place. Final score, pure domination, 148.75 points for Dominic the Donkey. The Pack, 70.60 points. Narrowly misses Beast of the Week. Top performers for Dominic the Donkey, pretty much the whole team, but George Pickens, Monday night star there. George Kittle, Brock Purdy locking up. That was a late waiver wire ad. Shout out to Dominic the Donkey, seeing Brock Purdy sitting on waivers. Scooped him up, got a nice 23 points out of him. And the Cleveland defense just dominating. 17 points for the Cleveland defense. Underperformers for the Pack. Again, almost the whole team. Khalil Shakir, Aronde Gadsden, and the Chargers defense really sunk the ship there. And with this win, Dominic the Donkey leapfrogs up the standings quite a bit, solidifying better odds for the playoffs, while the Pack slips a couple spots and puts their season in more jeopardy than it was looking like a couple weeks ago. So should be exciting for both teams coming into Week 12. All right, Trevor's Locks versus Matt's Gritty Goombas. Trevor's Locks on a heater. 139.49 points for Trevor's Locks to Matt's Gritty Goombas. Very respectable, 123.48 points. Trevor's Locks is on a 6-game win streak. That's solid. That might be one of the longest win streaks in league history at this point. I'd have to do some research on that. Leading the way for Trevor's Locks in Week 11, Tet McMillan, James Cook, JSN, and Cairo Santos. Hey, it's always good when you get a good kicker performance. It can really boost things. For Matt's Gritty Goombas, fresh off a trade with Tua in the pink, Tony Pollard, Parker Washington, and Wan'Dale Robinson. With this win, Trevor's Locks slides up the standings to 2nd place. And with this loss, Matt's Gritty Goombas falls to 11th place. Trevor's Locks has the clinching matchup pretty much in their sights this week with a win, while Matt still has a slight chance but is pretty much in must-win territory at this point. All right. Paige's Primo team taking on Molly Dangerfield. Final score. Paige's Primo team back from the dead a little bit. 110.74 points to Molly Dangerfield's 93.25 points. Leading the way for Paige's Primo team, Jamison Williams, Kenneth Walker, Devin Singletary, and Justin Fields, who just got benched coincidentally this week. Underperformers for Molly's team, David Montgomery, Dallas Goedert, Kyle Monangai, and DK Metcalf. Paige can play spoiler right now. That's basically what she's doing. That was a solid performance. Got some players she were hoping to perform like this, especially Kenneth Walker early in the season. They did that, and it shows what Paige's team can do, while Molly's team will look to still stay in the thick of the playoff hunt here, putting together in Week 12. All right. Up next, Radical Rob versus Tua in the pink. Radical Rob sitting in first place. Solid performance again from the former champ. 133.54 points to Tua's somewhat, I'm sure, disappointing 99.07 points given the projection. This was the matchup to watch of the week. Tua in the pink, kind of in a must-win situation to keep their playoff hopes alive, although they still are very much alive. Tua actually controls a lot of destinies this week for other teams and their playoff clinching hopes. Top performers for Radical Rob, Christian McCaffrey, that number 1 pick proven out to be a good one. Trevion Henderson out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure Rob picked Trevion Henderson up off waivers. And the Pittsburgh defense putting up a huge day. Underperformers, poor Josh Jacobs got hurt. Not his fault. Ladd McConkey and Jalen Waddle failed to live up to expectations. With this win, Radical Rob clinches a playoff spot. First team to clinch, so background applause here for Radical Rob, making another strong run and a strong case for a repeat championship, while Tua looks to cling to life here, try to claw their way into the bottom of that playoff bubble, put together a couple wins going into week 12 and 13. And last but not least, this ain't last year number 1, taking on Steve's Retirees. Lewis, 119.09 points to Steve's Retirees, 68.47 points. Top performers for Lewis's team: Bijan Robinson, first round pick coming through, Trey McBride, Beast, and Drake May, keeping that consistent strong season going for the Pats. While for Steve's Retirees, the Jets defense, Pat Fryermuth, Colston Loveland, I think, and Lamar Jackson. Jeez, man, Lamar Jackson just an enigma this season. Can't quite keep it going, even though they're putting together the wins. Lewis moves to 6th place with that win, strengthening the case for a run at the playoffs, which would be awesome given the past couple seasons for Lewis, while Steve sits comfortably in 14th, but looking to play spoiler with a newly acquired Derrick Henry. All right. Week 11 awards. Dominic the Donkey, Beauty of the Week, 148.75 points, beating up on the pack. I felt it. Also wins large in the margin award, blowing me out by 78.15 points. Shout out to Dominic the Donkey, Uncle Dom. That was a good one. You needed it when you needed it the most. That's how you want to see your team perform. That's some championship winning upside there. Beast of the Week, Steve's Retirees, Cuffin Link Award, Page's Primo Team, projected to lose by 23.12 points, ended up by winning by 17.49 points. And Anxiety Award goes to Al's Dumpster Divers, again winning by a margin of 2.82 points. For Dominic the Donkey, that's the second Beauty of the Week on the season, and the third large in the margin award in 2025. So watch out for Dominic the Donkey just blowing teams out. This is the first Beast of the Week for Steve's Retirees. So shout out to you, Steve. That's it's not anything to hang your head about, so to speak. And for Paige, this is her first Cuffin Link Award in 2025. Al, third Anxiety Award on the season. The only team with multiple Anxiety Awards in 2025, one short of Nakua Matata's record of 4 Anxiety Awards in 2023. All right, let's get into the Week 11 standings. First place, we have Radical Rob. Second place, Trevor's Locks. Third place, Al's Dumpster Divers. Fourth place, The Pack. Fifth place, Dominic the Donkey. 6th, Lewis. 7th, Molly Dangerfield. And 8th place, we have Dog Pound. Biggest risers on the week from week 10 to week 11. We have Dominic the Donkey going up 3 spots from 8th to 5th after that blowout win over the Pack. Page's Primo Team moves up 2 spots from 14th to 12th, moving out of the basement. Trevor's Locks, with that strong win, moves from 3rd place to 2nd place. Lewis's team moves from 7th to 6th, and Al's Dumpster Divers jumps from 4th place to 3rd place. Biggest fallers on the week. We had The Pack dropping from 2nd place to 4th place. Molly Dangerfield dropping 2 spots from 5th to 7th. Dog Pound falling from 6th to 8th. And Steve's Retirees falling from 13th to 14th. And last but not least, Brendan's team falling from 12th to 13th place. All other teams, including Radical Rob, shout out to clinching the playoffs, had no change in standings. All right, let's take a quick look at the playoff picture here in Week 11. Boy, again, you can't script it any better. This is going to be an exciting finish. We'll start at the top and talk about Radical Rob. Again, clinched the playoffs, has one of the strongest teams in the league at this point, has made some really good moves. So only look at this point, it's that number 1 seed at stake. And I think it's a first round bye. Second place, we have Trevor's Locks. Needs 1 win to basically seal it up. I'll have some clinching scenarios in a few here. But at 8-3, sitting very comfortably in second place. And Al's Dumpster Divers right behind, also 8-3, sitting in third place. On the tie break, I believe it goes to points. So this is where you want to try, and score a lot of points. So in case you are tied with someone with the same record, it goes to you. Looking beyond the top 3, we have the Pack sitting in fourth place as the only 7-4 team, falling from a large fall from grace, I guess, in a way, given the way the Pack was scoring points and is no longer scoring points at a clip like that. Made a couple moves, though. Hopefully we'll see how things turn around. 2-1 basically guarantees a spot for the Pack at this point. 1 and 2 would keep them in the mix, but nothing is truly guaranteed for the Pack at this point. And looking in the 6 and 5 cluster, so there's a cluster of teams basically from 5th to 8th place that are 6 and 5. You have Dominic the Donkey, Lewis's team, Molly Dangerfield, and Dog Pound, all sitting primed to crack maybe into the top 3, right? I'm sitting at 7-4. The Pack is. All these teams are sitting at 6 and 5. Week 12 is going to have huge implications. And sitting right on the bubble, we have Tua in the pink and Nakua Matata. Both teams poised, if they come up with wins here in Week 12, to make a strong case to try and grab one of those final playoff spots. Matt's Gritty Goombas and Paige's Primo team still mathematically have a chance, but would basically have to win out and have some other teams suffer some complete collapses. Talking about clinching the playoffs, Rob already clinched. Trevor's Locks this week can clinch with a win or one of a Tua loss or a Nakua Matata loss. Al's Dumpster Diver sitting in third place can clinch with a win or losses by both Tua and Nakua, or any 2 losses from Tua, Nakua, Matt's Gritty Goombas, or Paige's Primo team. The Pack sitting in fourth place at 7-4 can clinch with a win and a Tua loss, or a win plus any 2 losses from Molly, Angelo, Lewis, or Dominic the Donkey. And there is a slight mathematical probability that some of the 6 and 5 teams could technically clinch a spot, but a lot would have to happen there, and those are pretty complex scenarios. So that's what you're looking at in terms of playoff implications going into Week 12. All right, 'tis the season, huh? It's time to start talking some trades. There's been some action on the trade market here in our league the past couple weeks. Things were relatively quiet from early October, but then all of a sudden things woke up. So on November 11th, Matt's Gritty Goombas and Tua in the Pink traded players. Tua in the Pink traded Ladd McConkey for Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. So in the trade, Matt's Gritty Goombas received Kareem Hunt. Isaiah Pacheco needed some help at running back, and Tua in the Pink received Ladd McConkey. Then 2 days later, there was a trade between Paige's Primo team and the Pack. Paige's Primo team sending out Tyler Warren, while the Pack shipped off Hunter Henry and Quentin Johnston in exchange. And last but not least, the genius over here, the genius GM, that is Chris Briglia, sitting at the helm of the Pack, I did pull it off, but pulled off an agreement with Steve's retirees here. Really, both teams gambling their number 1 picks. A lot more to lose for the Pack in this case than Steve's retirees, but I needed that number one caliber wide receiver that I was lacking, so I had to put it all on the line. Steve's retirees shipping out Jamar Chase in exchange for Derrick Henry and Cortland Sutton. We'll see how this one will age. It didn't boast well. As soon as I traded for the player, they got me 5 points and then spit in some guy's face and got suspended. What the fuck? So I don't have that asset that I traded for this week. And in a must-win situation to try and clinch the playoffs over Nakua Matata. But either way, it should be a great matchup. Our trade deadline is this weekend, so if you're looking to pull off any trades or you have some trades in the works, try to get those finalized before the trade deadline this weekend. All right, Week 12 matchup previews. Up first, we have Al's Dumpster Divers taking on Dog Pound. Two playoff teams, one sitting in the top three. Al's Dumpster Divers sitting in third place at 8-3, taking on Dog Pound 6-5 in eighth place. All-time record. This series is tied 1-1. Playoff implications: Al can clinch a playoff spot with a win here, while Dog Pound is clinging to the top of that bubble, trying not to lose their spot to Nakua Matata or Tua in the Pink. Al can try for a first round bye here if he could have a strong enough finish. I think I have to play Al going into the end of the season, while Dog Pound definitely has the team, has been scraping together the wins all season, just needs the team to get hot. All right, next matchup. We have Dominic the Donkey taking on Paige's Primo team, the ultimate spoiler. That's what I'll call Paige's team. She's the ultimate spoiler after last season. I still haven't forgot. Dominic the Donkey, a strong surge from 8th place to 5th place after this past week, while Paige is coming off a fresh win. Dominic the Donkey leads this series all-time 2-0, so Paige looking for her first win over Dominic the Donkey. There are playoff implications here, too. Dominic can clinch a win, clinch the playoffs with a win plus a Tua loss and a Nakua loss, and also Matt or Paige loss. So it's kind of complex. It's a longer road to clinching because more has to happen given the record here. But Paige is looking to play spoiler. So Dominic the Donkey looking to stay hot, someone looking to play spoiler. This should not disappoint. All right, Matt's Gritty Goombas taking on Molly Dangerfield. So another team in Matt's Gritty Goombas sitting in 11th place, still has mathematical shot at the playoffs, but can definitely play spoiler to a team in Molly Dangerfield that had a surprising loss last week to Paige's Primo team. All-time record, Matt leads the series at this point 4-1. All right, up next, Nakua Matata taking on the Pack. All-time record, the Pack leads the series 2-0. This one has big playoff implications for both teams. It feels a little bit like a last-ditch effort for those 5 and 6 teams with 3 games remaining. And for the Pack, dropped 2 out of the last 3, really looking to solidify a playoff spot where they thought they might have had that locked up earlier in the season. And they need to beat Nakua Matata to do that. 2 in the Pink also has to lose for the Pack to clinch the playoffs. So interesting predicament here. Patrick's got that strong, volatile team with those waiver wire heroes. I'm not taking this one for granted by any means. I'm the projected loser, I think, at this point in the week. So this should be a good one. All right, this one is the one I'm most excited about. Radical Rob taking on Trevor's Locks. We have the first place team taking on the second place team. Honestly, this could be a championship preview. We get one early. The fantasy football script writers couldn't have done it any better for us here. Radical Rob at a strong 9-2 in first place. Trevor's Locks at 8-3. All-time Radical Rob leads the series 2-1. Rob's already clinched, looking for that first round bye in the playoffs. I think we get buys. I have to look into that. The stuff on Yahoo keeps saying we have bye, but I can't remember if we do because we do 8 teams. But either way, the first place team, I believe, would take on the bottom seeded team in the playoffs. So that's what's at stake here. And then for Trevor's Locks, I mean, honestly, looking to go for first place, got the point total behind him, could overtake the top spot here with a win. Both have really strong, volatile teams that have a high ceilings. This has Slobberknocker written all over it. Okay. Sleuthy Sloths taking on This Ain't Last Year, #1. Brendan versus Lewis. Battle of Cape Cod Bay. Whatever you want to call it. I guess that makes sense. That makes sense, right? All-time record, Sleuthy Sloths leads the series 2-1. Lewis can clinch a playoff berth here with a win plus a Tua loss plus a Nakua loss plus a Matt or Page loss. That seems to be a common theme here, right? For those 6-5 teams sitting in the bottom spot there. Might be a little harder to clinch for those teams. Right now at 6-5, you're just looking together to put together a win. Big resurgence for Lewis's team this year, though. Really looking to make a strong push and has the players to do it, has the roster to do it. But Brendan's team is no slouch either. Just had, again, leading points scored against, coupled with some injuries is enough to put you away, but a strong finish could really upset a couple of people's seasons here as we push for the playoffs. And last but not least, Steve's Retirees taking on Tua in the Pink. Tua leads this series all time 2-0. Tua can't clinch a playoff spot at all, but again is looking to try to secure a playoff spot or be in position to. Steve's currently eliminated, but can really play executioner here in a way end to a season if he does pull out the win. So there's a lot on the line here in week 12, as well as, I don't know what it is about it, but Tua in the Pink seems to be tied to a lot of playoff clinching scenarios for a lot of teams if he in fact loses. So Johnny, no pressure, but you control a lot of destinies this week, so good luck to both teams. All right, this is it. Laces out, surfs up. It's the big one. You gonna go ride some waves and rob some banks, or you're gonna eat it, drown in the surf? I'm just kidding. It's super dramatic. But in a way, this is kind of it. If you don't hang on to your board and ride that wave, you ain't coming back. Some of us ain't coming back, man, as they say, if you don't pull out a win this week. And then some of us don't control our destinies as much as we thought if we don't pull out a win this week. And then there's others that are just kind of sitting in, watching the rest of us surf, but just waiting like sharks for one of us to fall into the water to pounce. There's a lot at stake. A lot of us have put a lot of time and effort to get to this point in the season. I can't believe there's only 3 weeks left, really, to the regular season. I already miss it in a way. I hope everybody's having fun. But with the trade deadline coming, the waiver wire is going to be even more important. Using all of your roster spots, like your IR spots, are going to be even more important. You're going to get players back from injury you didn't expect that can maybe help in the playoffs. There's going to be those heroes. Don't give up. There's still fab money out there. People haven't really used a ton of it in certain cases. There's less players that pop up that can have that type of impact this time of year, but don't take your eye off the ball. And watch out for bye weeks, because those are still out there, occurring through next week, I believe. Actually, I think they go up all the way till week 14, because the 49ers, I know for a fact, are off in week 14. So just plan for that stuff, because when you need to win the most, you don't want to have to be trying to scramble to find players to fill in. This is fun. It's going to be a crazy ending. I'm super excited. I hope you are too. I love you.
Hell, I don't know. They think there's some kind of death squad around here.
What's their program?
Brains are wired wrong. They're into some bad shit.
Like what? Illegal shit?
Maybe, I don't know. That's not what I'm talking about. They only live to get radical. They don't have any real understanding of the sea, so they'll never get the spiritual side of it.
Hey, you're not gonna start chanting or anything, are you?
I might.
This is me.
So, you still haven't figured out what riding waves is all about, have you? It's a state of mind. It's that place where you lose yourself and you find yourself. You don't know it yet, but you got it. It's right there. I saw you with those guys. You're a pit bull. You didn't hesitate, and they didn't back you down an inch. And that is very rare in this world.
Well, thanks for stepping in.
De nada. Later. Oh, hey. I'm, having some people over at my house tonight if you want to come.
Sure.